Welcome back. Today we'll be doing widgets and forms. And before we begin, I want you to think about where we were in the last chapter. We focus on the layouts. We made the application look professional. We made it look clean. We made it look organized. But looking good is not enough. No, it's not. Because right now, your application is just a monologue. It talks to the user. It shows them some data, but it doesn't listen to them. And today we change that. Today we turn that monologue into a dialogue. Let user also speak. We are going to give your user a voice. Every button they click, every text they type, every option they select, it changes the flow of the application. I want you to think about that flow, because this flow changes the story you're telling. This is the moment where we stop building reports and we start building tools. Because an intentional programmer, a programmer who is in control, that is you, an intentional programmer knows that the most powerful data isn't the data you have, it's the data your user gives you. Okay, so resources are linked below. You know where to download the course repo. I hope you have already downloaded the book, because you are following this book. You're going to have all your exercises, everything inside the book. So let's get started. Okay, so here's our roadmap for this chapter. We'll do interactive user inputs, we'll do text inputs and selections, buttons and sliders, and then we'll do grouping with forms. And I want you to pay special attention to this one, because forms are not just about grouping inputs. Forms are about control. Without forms, Streamlit runs every time you touch a widget. We have seen that. Streamlit reruns on every interaction. But with form, you pause that execution. You build that scope. You let the user finish their thought before the app reacts. We are going to learn how to manage that flow. And as we always do, we start with a watch. We are entering the watch phase. And for the next few minutes, I want you to stop coding. I want you to close your other tabs. I want you to just focus. So, very small question. You can just pause it and can maybe write in comments why widgets matter. Just think about this for a second, a theory, but I want you to develop that kind of understanding, because if you are in an interview, if you are talking to a user or maybe your manager, you need to have that kind of clarity. Why widgets matter? What is the difference between a PDF and a report and a piece of a software? Or let's say a difference between a PDF report and a piece of a software. A PDF is passive. It displays information, it sits there, it waits to be read. The user is just a spectator. But an app, we are building Python apps. In Python apps, an app is interactive. It responds, it listens, it changes. And when you add widgets to show to your Streamlit app, you're doing something powerful, right? That is the reason why widgets matter. So key concept is very simple. There are two key concepts. Widgets, first key concept you already know, that widgets are always going to read whenever you are going to click on a widget. Whenever you're going to click on a widget, what will happen? Whenever your user is going to click on a widget, a read and will be triggered. And second concept here is widget always returns a value. For example, st.text_input. When you're going to show this widget to your in your app and user is going to write something, that value will be stored in this variable name. Similarly, st.slider, whenever user is going to slide for the numbers, the value will be stored in the edge. Very simple. Just give me a 1 second. Let me download the book. Okay, awesome. So I have just downloaded the book. So let's quickly let's go into the book for a second before we discuss this. So can you see my screen? Yes. So this is chapter 3. Okay, two key concepts we have already discussed. They return values and rerun, right? You know that. And then we are going to discuss buttons. Okay, text inputs. Okay, okay, perfect, perfect. And we'll do a very interesting project today. But let's not jump ahead. Let's go back. Let's go back to our slides. So in fact, like before discussing this form, let's start some coding. Let's start some practicing something. Then we'll come back to this. So let's start with our coding practice. So I'm going to go to my terminal. I am inside my code repository. I hope you have downloaded this code repository. I'm going to first activate my source.v. .v in is my local folder. I'm going to activate my this Python environment. Then I'm going to start my favorite IDE, that is VS Code, code dot. I'm going to make it full screen. Perfect. Let me click on chapter 03. I'm going to go starter practice 01. Perfect. 1 second. Streamlit. Let me install Streamlit. First, let me okay. So I haven't installed a virtual environment. Actually, I deleted my entire repository. I deleted that folder and reinstalled that folder. So I have to quickly create a virtual environment. Let me quickly create a virtual environment. Perfect. Then I have to activate that virtual environment, and then I have to install Streamlit also. That's the reason. You can see this orange. Can you see this orange bar? Is import Streamlit could not be resolved. Now this is gone because Streamlit has been installed using pip. Perfect. So the first thing is widget and forms. Let's save this and let's run this. I'm using clear. So Streamlit. This time we are in chapter 3 / starter. Streamlit run. Okay, perfect. Close other tabs. Widgets and forms. So let's do one thing. Let's add a title first. Let's add a header first. st.header. And since we are doing widgets, let's do widgets. The first widget is very simple. Name. st.text. Input. Your name. Right. Let me just copy this to save my typing time. Age is nothing. st.number underscore input. Your age. This is my label. Minimum value is 0. Maximum value is 120. Let's say 50. Value is 25. Default value is 25. Right? Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Then what we'll do is, let me click on Command B so that we have more space. Now I'm going to use a button if st. We have already done this actually. If st.button submit, and we can do something like we can show a success. Something like hello, name, your age is years old. Let's try this. Save this file, and then I'll go and refresh my this thing. Your name, Ankit, and click on submit. Awesome. Ankit, you're 25 years old. I'll click on plus. Nothing is happening. Why? Because I need to click submit. If I don't click submit, this st.success won't be fired. I can also do this else here. Else st.info. Waiting for you to click the button, right? Let me refresh this. Where's my, okay. Waiting for you to click the button. Okay, I have clicked it. Hey, hello, you're 25 years old. Again, I click on this plus. What will happen is waiting for you to click the button. I need to click this button. What is the button? Submit. You guys know that. It was a repeat. Now let's go to this thing. Let's go to checkbox and selection and sliders. Let's do this. Practice 2. So again, what we'll do is we'll write a header. Quickly, let me just copy and paste. selection and this time we'll have two variables, color and maybe let's first put color. For color I can do st.select box, and I can what is my label? Favorite color, and I can give it a list, maybe red, green, yellow. Okay, let's see how it looks. It looks fantastic. Red, green and yellow, favorite color, and you can see my label here. Anyways, let's also ask him to agree to our terms. So we'll say st.checkbox, st.checkbox, I agree to play. Perfect. Or I agree to terms. The only thing I'm showing you is how easy it is, how easy it is to put all these widgets here. And in the book, what I have also done is I have also created a small table. Can you see in this book a small table, so that you know text underscore input, text underscore area, number underscore input, st.select box, st.multi-select box, you know, st.radio. If I change the select box to multi-select box, what will happen is I have to refresh this, and here I can choose option red, yellow. I can choose multiple options. Easy, super easy, right? And then let's do rating. For rating, I'm going to use slider. For rating, I'm going to use slider. This is rating. And then finally, I'm going to just display my results, which is nothing but right, color, agree, rating, whatever. Refresh it. I agree to terms, favorite colors. I have green, yellow, colors green and yellow. Agreed is true, rating is 5. I don't agree. Agreed is false, rating is 5. Let's increase our rating. And as you can see, as soon as I change the ratings, the rating value has changed. Why? Because there is no button. The page got redone, and Streamlit was very intelligent. It was able to remember all previous value, because Streamlit is able to remember all the previous value like green, yellow. You can see it here. Only thing that changed was when I changed my rating to 9. Everything else was remembered by Streamlit. That is the beauty of Streamlit, right? Perfect. Now let's do our display results. We have already done. I think we have already done this. I'm going to remove this. Let's now create a registration form. So before teaching about form, let's go back to our theory part. Okay, so the problem here is when you have multiple inputs, like your user input A, your user input B, your user input C. When a user is clicking on any of these input, they are triggering a rerun. Rerun 1, rerun 2, rerun 3, right? So user click here, result in a rerun. When then user click here, it again goes for a rerun, again goes for a rerun. We can avoid all this. How do we avoid all this? By putting them into a group that is nothing but a form. We put them into a group. Now, whenever user submit anything, nothing will happen until unless user click on the submit button. Now the rerun will trigger. That is the concept of form. Super simple. That is where you are going to use form. Now, come to the screen and let's do the coding part. So okay, so now let's do one thing. Instead of title, we use header, registration form. Okay, registration form. And in registration form, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use with context manager, our best friend, with st.form. We'll say registration. Okay. Let's say please register for something amazing, right? Now this time we can use name is equal to, and we can do all this. I'm just copy pasting because we don't have that much time. So what is name is st.text input, full name. Email is st.text input, age is slider 1825. What is this? This is a minimum value, this is a maximum value. And this is our default value. Select box, the plan, the label of select box is plan, and the options are free, pro, enterprise. Submitted is the finally form submit button, register. Now understand one thing, remember one thing, whenever there's a button will have two values. One is true and false, and the default value is false. So until unless we take that in account, nothing will happen. So what we can say, so first let's say write if submitted. So this variable will have two values, true and false, right? So let me pass it for a second. I want to show you first else still st.write, still waiting for you to click. Okay, still waiting for you to click. This is my registration form. Okay, one small thing is, when I put here st form, this is my key and key are not labeled. So let's say form -01, so that you know when the form was submitted. So this is not labeled. So you can move my mouse here, key, clear on submit, true, false. You can use all this border. Let's say border is equal to true. I love border. Border is equal to true. Let's see how it looks with a border. Can you see the border? Border looks nice. And if I say false, border gone. And default value is true. Just want to show you, you can look at various other options by yourself if you want. Clear on submit, hide, width, etc. Clear on submit, boolean false. If somebody submits it, this means the values will remain there. Now if submitted, what we can do is we can say registration successful. Registration successful, but none of these values got clear, right? So there's a option. There are two options. Clear on submit is equal to true. Let's say this time now I'll click on register. Everything got cleared. Then there's another option, enter to submit. If I use this, I don't need to click on this button. Default value is equal to true. So default value is true. If I click on let's say name, email, and click on enter, it will get submitted. It will get let me refresh it so that you also know it. So in my form, what I'm doing here is I have enabled enter to submit is equal to true. So I just need to click on enter. I don't need to click on the submit button. Registration successful, and everything got cleared. And if you want, you can display all these success messages. Perfect. So we have quickly finished this coding. Now it's time to move towards our project. So this is a quick reference. You can look at the quick reference forms we have discussed. Perfect. Basic form structure we have discussed. You can even use st.write to display the values if you want. You can use formatted strings. Now here comes the interesting part, which is our project. This means final step build. And as we say, this is where the training wheels come off. This is where you stop following my tutorials and start building your projects. So come back to the screen. Now we will be doing this GitHub profile readme generator. I'm hoping every single one of you have a GitHub profile. And you know, in GitHub profile, you can also, what you can do is, you can have a fancy profile using GitHub readme, a fancy profile. So we are going to create this GitHub fancy profile readme generator. And so your task is to build a clean and polished GitHub profile generator. So you, this app should give you a markdown code, which you can download or which you can copy and paste and put it on your GitHub to have a fancy profile, right? So users will come and fill in their details, and the app will generate a professional GitHub profile with a live preview, and the live preview should be there. As soon as they are writing something, I want in the left column, they should be filling the form, and the right column, the live preview should be there. It's a 2 column layout. From left preview, from a form on the left, preview on the right. A form that can collect name, bio, GitHub, username. You can make it as fancy as you want. Skills, they can enter skills. They are LinkedIn. It should have a submit button and so on, right? So for this, let's close our file. Let's also stop our Streamlit and open the project. In project, we'll open the starter, right? Perfect. So the first thing we'll be doing is we'll set up the page configuration. Not important, but like I always like to do this. And then title is already there, GitHub profile generator. Now what I want to do here is 2 column layout. I'll call them left, comma, right. And how will I get them? By using st.columns. How many columns I want? I want 2 columns, right? So I'll get 2 columns. When I use st.columns, it will give me 2 columns. One is left, one is right. Now what I'll do is with left, I'll do something. Okay. So I should put it here inside left column. And with right, I also need to do something. Perfect. So in right, what I'll do is preview section will be with right. I'll do something. So left, I want the form, and right, I want to preview sections. And then I want to create the markdown. So the whole idea here is whenever somebody is adding their profile to my form, I should be able to add it to my variable called markdown. Where is my mouse? Yes. So let me create an empty variable markdown, right? And as soon as somebody submit the form, it should get added to that markdown variable. Okay. So let's start doing this. So first we'll just define our form with st.form profile underscore form. Now we can use subheader. Fill your profile details. Okay. And then I can use a couple of things like this. Name is equal to name is equal to your input, your bio, etc. Let's run it. For running, Streamlit run in my project. Okay. Fill your profile detail, your name, short bio, GitHub username. You can add things like your skill, text, LinkedIn. I leave it to you. But first I want to use a submit. Submit is equal to submit is the form button. As soon as somebody submit the form button, the button label should be generate profile, like this. Generate profile. Now whenever somebody submits this form, what should happen? If submit, I want things to be added to their. If submit, I want things to be added to their markdown variable, right? If submit, then if they have put their name, it's a very good practice. You have to check if name is empty, we won't use it. But if name is not empty, we'll just add it to. If name is equal to md plus is md plus is equal to something like formatted string, and we'll use a markdown double header. Hi, I am name, and I can use some emoji and some empty lines, right? And otherwise, if they have not put their name, I can choose else. Hi there, something of this sort. Perfect. Let's run it. No, first we need to display this MD with right. What I'll just do is, I want in my preview, I'll just say st dot subheader preview. I'll just say preview, nothing fancy, and I'll just show the markdown. For markdown, there's a special command st dot markdown, and what I'll do is I'll just show them md, right? Hi, I'm Ankit. So this markdown is being generated, and I can also see the live preview on my right hand side. Perfect. Now let's complete our code. Similarly, I want to say bio. If bio, put this. Sorry for indentation issue. If bio is this, put this. Otherwise, don't put anything. And what was the third thing I have put there? GitHub user. If there's a GitHub user, I can always, let me copy paste this thing. Now I want to add I'm just asking for GitHub username. I want to add the GitHub URL myself. So here is if GitHub user, what I'll do is I'll just add this emoji, then GitHub, add the GitHub user, and github.com and GitHub user. Let's say, for example, SMI short. I'm a teacher, and GitHub username is, let's say, Ankit Maheshwari -com. Perfect. Can you see this? The link is there. So my README is being generated here. Now, last thing I want to do here is I want you to create a download button. This is where things are going to get interesting. I want you. Okay. So I want to create a download button. In right column, I'll just create a st.download. Download button is a widget. Is a button, and now the label of this button is label is equal to download readme.md. This is a file. Whenever you generate a GitHub profile, you can use readme.md. The data is, what is the data? Data is nothing but that variable data is equal to md. We already have that variable. Can you see this variable md? This is the entire variable where we are keep on adding the various string. And the file name I want to generate is, sorry. So these are the different options available in download underscore button. The file name should be readme.md. And the final option I'll use is MIME type. MIME type is nothing but text / markdown. Remember, it's a markdown file. So we'll say markdown. Okay. Now this is a download button. What I can do is I can also preview my markdown file also, but let's first click on this button to see what is happening. Okay, click on download readme and it's downloaded readme.md. Super simple, but you have to go beyond this. I want you to add things like a text area, or maybe a code area where somebody can see the entire markdown, what is being generated in markdown. We are able to see the preview. Here we are able to see the preview. You can see, I can see the preview, let's for example. But what I want from you is, I also want to show the code of this markdown also. You can easily do it. And that's it. And you can add LinkedIn profile, you can Twitter profile, whatever you want. If you want to add some image, you can add those images also. Whatever you want, you can keep on adding here. So with this, we kind of finish our widgets and forms. They are super easy and very, very powerful. I hope you enjoyed this video and create a very fancy README generator for GitHub, and share with us. Maybe put this in your comment, your final code. I would love to see what you have done, and I'll see you soon. Keep on practicing.